I'm gonna play guitar. I'm gonna make music for you all till I die.
حدوداً 3 مدل موزیسین داریم، 3 مدل آرتیست داریم. آرتیستایی داریم که سکوت میکنن در مقابل دیکتاتوری، آرتیستایی که همکاری میکنن و آرتیستایی که مبارزه میکنن برای مردم خودشون.
ساقیا ساقیا با دل ما را بیا، پیکار و سنگین بریز، واسه دل غمگین بریز، از دل و از جون بریز.
I'm not going to say that inflammation in a 50-year-old body is the exact same as a 20-year-old body. But what I will argue is that if the 50...
Wait, sorry, is the 50-year-old the old person? I thought... I thought we're...
We're going to have a great show for you tonight, and it's about that time to get the show on the road. You've seen him on TV. You've heard him on the radio. He's an award-winning broadcaster, writer, musician, jack of all trades. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome your host for tonight. Make some noise for Jian Ghomeshi!
I love how you play all this awesome Persian music and then I come out to Michael Jackson. Hey, everybody, he actually barely slept to come to do a red eye, to be here from San Diego. Give it up for DJ Al. He's so good at what he does. واقعا یعنی بلدی کارتو.
قربونت برم $1000 رو میزنم به حسابه.
Hey, welcome to the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. Welcome to Roqe Live 5. We're recording this, come on. مازیار جان چطوری؟ تنها اومدی مثل که دوست نداری. There's nobody on this side of you or nobody on this side of you. And yet you're the most popular guy in the room. Maziar Falahi is here tonight. And behind you is the champ, Salar Gholami. How you doing there, buddy? Thank you guys for coming. It's nice to see you here. That's a surprise. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming. The show kind of hasn't started. If you know the program, it starts with our theme, and then and I'll do that in a second behind the desk. But first of all, I wanted to say thank you to all of you from Tornhid, from Richmond Hill, from Escarborough, all of you for... Really? That's what you laugh at? The racist humor was amazing. I really appreciate you guys being here. This, for some of you who know us and know me, and Bubba, you don't have to stand the whole time. I feel bad. You just came from San Diego. Okay.
That's why I brought the chair for me.
You're not getting any younger. You know, I'm worried about you. You know, for those of you who know Roqe, we started 5.5 years ago, and it seemed like a really weird thing at that time, a podcast that's predominantly in English, serving the Persian, the Iranian diaspora. And Navid, thank you. Also, thank you to Navid Rezvani for the opening there. It's a tough job. As people are walking in to do comedy, that's a tough job, and he's so good at it, and he's such a great guy, and you should follow him in social media. You know, when we started, it seemed kind of fanciful to some people. Well, who's going to listen to this? What's this going to do? And now that we've had the millions of streams, thankfully, and we've kind of built this, it means a lot. But when we do these live programs and we actually get to see you guys, and they grow a little. Our Roqe Live 1, Babak, I think you were there. It was at the Aurora Theater with 100 people, and it was wonderful. But as we grow this thing, it really means a lot to us. For you to be here. My superstar is here, the biggest star in the room, my mom. Mom, merci. به افتخار شما. به افتخار شما واقعا. Now that was Salar. The light went on Salar. That's not my mother. Madaram is just behind Salar. There, right? Go a little further? Oh, you can't go any further. Mom, step in there. Oh, no, over one. There you go. There's my mom. The mission of this, and I don't want to start after this amazing high energy opening being sort of too serious or maudlin, but the mission was to try and create the conditions where we can help foster community, because there's some of us who either didn't grow up in Iran or came at a very early age, or are second or third generation Iranians who have essentially grown up in the West but feel this incredible tie, this umbilical cord to our Iranian identity and to Iranian culture. That's certainly the case for me. And the hypothesis was that those of us around the world, like Sepide in San Diego and Reza in Berlin and Fatima in Sydney, Australia, regardless of their age and their gender and their geography and how long they've been outside of Iran, would feel this collective connection. And that has borne out to be true. I have to say that the best thing about doing this show for the last 5.5 years has been discovering the sense of connectivity that we feel. Even if we don't always agree, even if there's infighting, even when there's disunity, all of that stuff, we're fighting because we're family. There is this sense of connectivity, and it's very rewarding, and it's so important when we gather like this that I believe we can showcase the kind of variety of talent, of professionalism, of education, of profound influence that our community has, and we hope that's what you'll see here at Roqe Live 5 tonight. And there's people here that I'm so thrilled to have here. She's, I can't even believe this outfit. The outfit alone. She also flew overnight. She literally flew overnight. She did her show yesterday in San Diego, took a 10 p.m. flight from San Diego to Toronto, got here at 5 in the morning to do this. When I called and said, would you do this? She said yes right away. Shali Zomadi, thank you so much for being here. What a thrill it is to have you part of this. He's one of the top DJs in the world, and he called me yesterday like, he was so sick, but he's still here and hopefully infecting a lot of people around him. DJ Namito is here from Berlin. When I was a kid, and I was, not when I was a kid actually, I wasn't a kid 15, 20 years ago, but when I first heard this guy's music, I was like, wow, Iranians can make this kind of rock. This is so badass. This is so cool. It really opened up a world for me, and I'm so honored to have Kaveh Yaghmaei here. The great Kaveh Yaghmaei. I mean, everyone's going to get recognized who's part of this show tonight. Let me just also say, there's some non-Iranians here. Actually, who's amongst us non-Iranian? Clap if you're not Iranian. Okay. Smattering of, wow.
We have 2 people here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Richmond Hill is here. Mayor David West. خیلی خوش اومدی، خیلی شما رو دوست داریم. امیدواریم که برنامه خوبی باشه واسه شما. خوشحال هستم که اینجا هستی و واقعا موهات هم خوبن و همه چی دوست دارم. I just said death to America. We repeat that. It's very good to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. I know you have a crazy busy schedule, and it's an honor to have you here. Okay. We're going to get the show going. I'm going to walk behind the stage, and once again, thank you so much for being here. I think Navid read you the rules that this is a recording, so remember that people who are listening around the world or watching will decide how good a time you had based on how good a time you have. So give us a big round of applause as we start here. Welcome to Richmond Hill, Canada, and Roqe Live 5! Hi there, welcome to episode 391 of Roqe. I'm Jian Ghomeshi. Salam Dostan Aziz Durud Bar Shoma. I hope you're doing well wherever you are tuning in from around the world. And once again, welcome to Roqe Live 5 live at the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts in Richmond Hill, Canada. DJ Al is on stage joining us over there. Let me introduce to you a person who you'll be familiar with if you are regular listeners of the Roqe podcast. She is a consummate professional. She is a deeply passionate person about the Iranian community, our collective culture, and the plight of Iranians around the world. She's a former president of the Iranian Students Association at York University. Please welcome smart Pegah Ganji. Now, if you know the show, you know that oftentimes at the top of the show, we do something called the Roqe Roundup, which is we're talking about the news of the week and that type of thing, and Pegah brings some ideas and some opinions to that. But we thought tonight, to kick things off, we happen to be, this is basically your hometown, right, Richmond Hill?
It is, and hello everyone. Sorry, I didn't even get a chance to say hi. Good to be here.
Great to have you. Your family lives here. You were living here until recently. Now you're here in Ottawa, right?
I'm between here and Ottawa. The drive has become frequent and long.
So one of the things that becomes clear as you walk along Yonge Street outside of the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts, and those people who are listening to us around the world who might not even know what Richmond Hill is necessarily, they've certainly heard of Toronto. Actually, maybe they'll know Richmond Hill from the 50,000 people who gathered for the Mahsa Amini during the Mahsa Amini protests. But they may not know just how Iranian this strip has become, and it must be interesting for you. I mean, you're still young, but old enough to remember this town when it wasn't the epicenter of Irani Boudan.
Oh my God, yeah.
How do you feel when you, how do you feel about Richmond Hill these days, given your Persian background?
You know what? First of all, it's a sense of pride more than anything else to be able to go up and down the same streets that I once felt so isolated and, didn't have that sense of community. It's changed so much. I feel like there was a time where I was the only kid in school who spoke Farsi. My parents had to drive to North York. Super Khork was the only store that we had. People who came from Iran to visit us, everyone would ask, do you want us to bring anything? And the answer was always yes. And yet now the answer to that question is, oh my God, no, we have everything here, trust me. And when they come here and they see that, they're so shocked. But to answer your question, Jian, I think the emotion that I feel most is pride.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's wonderful to have the mayor of Richmond Hill here, but also he kind of needs to be here because we're a significant force now.
Absolutely.
And for many years, I would host Nowruz events or these type of things, and I would keep saying to, what are you doing? You're looking at your phone?
I'm getting my stats
Oh, you're
ready.
getting stats. Oh, amazing. What are you getting stats about?
So, do you want to finish your thought?
Well, I was just going to say, I would host these events, and I would say to the Iranian community, we need to be less insular. And honestly, I still sort of feel this way because I feel like there are a lot of Iranians who come here, especially more recently, and feel the need to not learn, for example, learn English because they can do everything they want in the Persian language, which is great, wonderful. We've created this new Iranian hub, but to have the social and political and economic influence that we would want to have as a community in these numbers, we also have to make inroads into the broader community. Some of our sponsors tonight are the kind of people who do that, and I think those inroads are what happen when you get the mayor here. You know, that means the community is growing beyond itself. What are your statistics?
Well, just before I go to my stats, I think, you know, we really are doing that, and you can see that in the growth of the community, because I don't know if many people here know, and some might, but we're actually doing, we are announcing Little Iran later this month, and so there's going to be an unveiling of the sign and the area, and so this is how you see the community have an impact. You know, 10, 20, 15 years ago, whatever it was, you would never see something like that. And yet now we have an entire area devoted to us. As you said, you go down Yonge Street, there's nothing but Persian stores everywhere. When we talk to family back home, you know, we're not worried about what we don't have here anymore. So we can definitely see that impact and growth. And to prove it,
yes.
Here's my stats.
Oh, that wasn't the stats. Right.
No, actually.
Right.
So from 2011 to 2016, there was a noticeable increase in the percentage of Persians, not only in Richmond Hill, but across Toronto. And in Richmond Hill specifically, we went from 9.4% in 2011 to 11% in 2016, and we've only continued to grow. So we can definitely see the impact.
Can I come back to the Little Iran thing? Mm-hmm. It's just that you guys have heard about this, right? Is it the street or the area? I thought.
So there's going to be a street sign that actually says Little Iran, and it's going to be significant of that specific area.
Okay. Now, I mean, one would think, it would be counterintuitive to think that's a bad thing, but
yeah.
Is everybody here happy that there's going to be an area called Little Iran? Does anyone not think it's a good idea or not need that? Me, Tyson. I'm scared to say that. Nope, everybody's on board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's like, we haven't had that kind of unanimity since we asked about Trudeau, and everybody responded en masse. And it is kind of a big deal though, because if you grew up in Toronto, mm-hmm. you know about, I don't know if you have this in San Diego, Al, but here we have Little India, we have Greektown, we have Chinatown, we have all these places in the city. I mean, this incredibly diverse city. Now, Toronto isn't Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill's just north of Toronto. But to have a place called Little Iran is it Little Iran? What's that?
Isn't there a thing called Medu Mohseni in Toronto?
That's a different place, actually.
I've heard about it. I've heard about Medu Mohseni, whatever that means.
Yep.
There's a little place with all the pizza stuff.
Do you know about Medu Mohseni?
I don't, actually.
You don't?
Medu Mohseni? Not after
Oh my
no.
God.
You guys know Medu Mohseni, right?
Wait a second. Where is it?
So Medu Mohseni is Yonge and Finch area.
Yeah, well, that's why. I don't go north of Eglinton.
That's too north for you, is it? You grew up in Thornhill.
I do grow up in Thornhill. I love my mom. I love Thornhill. But I immigrated away from Thornhill to downtown Toronto. I haven't left since. And it's very difficult for me to get my passport to come up to Richmond Hill. But I accept that it is beautiful up here now.
Yeah, and that's
when I was growing up, Richmond Hill, I'm sorry, Mayor West, but Richmond Hill was not much to talk about.
Well,
it was like a few tumbleweeds and Hillcrest Mall, which was not the best mall, you know?
Like you said, it's becoming the epicenter for the Persian community, and if anything, we're seeing that growth in other places too. I mean, I'm sure we have people in the audience who are not just from Richmond Hill or North York. There's definitely the Persian community who lives downtown. I mean, you're one of them, but again, it goes... Absolutely.
Me and 3 other people. Everybody else is like, Richmond Hill,
it definitely goes back to that sign of growth, for sure.
Is there, have you seen any growing pains or difficulties as the community grows this quickly in the Greater Toronto Area in general? There's the influx of Persians here is quite remarkable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can ever have too much of the Persian restaurants and the stores and things like that. I honestly can't get enough of it. And now being in Ottawa part-time, no hate to Ottawa, but there's definitely a lack of that. And having experience living in a different city, even just in Canada, where we do have such a large Iranian population, you really do see the difference, and it is something that you feel the void of. So I can't think of a single bad reason that we have so much here in Toronto.
That's a cop-out. You don't think that an influx of lots of immigrants all of a sudden in the last 2 or 3 years can lead to difficulties?
Listen, you can say the same thing about every other community.
I do.
It's not just the Persian community.
Yeah.
And, like you said, growing pains. It definitely comes with its challenges, but I think ultimately if you ask anyone in this room and beyond within the community, they appreciate the fact that now they have a stronger sense of community, a stronger sense of identity, and it's definitely something to be proud of, not just as an Iranian, but as an Iranian Canadian.
I suspect this is going to be, I'm going to talk to Shali about this. Yeah. Shali, Navid, people who've come from elsewhere to Toronto and who, because it's been a few years that we've been this epicenter, maybe next to LA of all things Persian, but it's really kicked into a new gear in the last couple of years. And so I suspect it'll become a theme through the show. Al, Deejay Al, what do I even call you?
You just call me Al.
Okay. All right. Well, Al, I normally call you Al, but I think on stage I feel like I have to call you Deejay Al.
No, you can call me Al.
You come from San Diego.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a place devoid of Persians. There's lots of Iranians there, but you've done 3 or 4 gigs in Toronto in the last 3 months, which is quite telling. And if you look at the schedule of what's happening in the Toronto area, week to week, this weekend, whether it's Shad Mer or Shahram Shapare or Martik or whoever's, the concerts and the events, and it's overwhelming. Do you see that and feel that when you come here?
So I think it is. I don't think it's overwhelming, and I'll tell you why. Because I travel the world doing Persian events. Like literally almost every week, I'm in a different part of the world doing Persian events. So I get to familiarize myself with the Persian communities all around the world. And I have to tell you this, and I'm not just saying this because I am here. What I got to experience in Toronto in the past month that I did the Persian Food Festival and stuff like that, there was a Radio Jamal party, all this in 3 weeks. Those festivals had over 120,000 people come in and out in about 3 days each time. And the way the community supports each other in Toronto is like nothing I've ever seen before. So you guys should be proud of yourself, and you should continue on doing whatever you're doing because it's working out.
That's really nice to hear. Pegah, great to have you part of the show. I should also say Pegah is one of the directors of these Roqe Lives that we do, which is a thankless and an incredibly difficult job. Thank you so much for all you're doing. So nice to have you on stage in your hometown. Pegah Ganji, everybody. Give it up. Give it up.
Wazir, this one's for you, brother.
دوباره اومدم دلتنگت ای جون منو با اشوهات کمتر برنجون دوباره اومدم خاطر بازی برام با خنده ها مرهم بسازی بشینی رو برام با چشم مستم بگیری دستم و با ساقیا ساقیا با دل ما را بیا ای کار سنگین بریز واسه دل غمگین بریز از دل و از جون بریز مثل و غزل خون بریز عاشق و رسوا دلم محو تماشا دلم با تو زیر بارون دلم خسته و مجنون دلم.
You know how to play it, Jian?
This is Roqe, episode 391, live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. Let me just say, I've spotted a couple of people in the audience I want to point out. He is really, when it comes to Iranian Canadians in the political field, he's iconic because he was our first. I think he was the first anywhere in the world to be a sitting MP. He was a sitting MPP and a cabinet minister here in Ontario. Dr. Reza Moradi is here. And we have a world adventurer here. If you don't follow this guy on Instagram or on social media, you really should, because what he does is travel to places that other people don't normally travel to in Persian, and gets himself sometimes into trouble, but does this remarkable adventurism and makes these videos that then get seen in the millions around the world. It's so nice to have you in town and have you here. Ben Marco is here. Nice to have you here, Azam. Benjamin Marco. I'm so excited about this next guest. When we asked him to be part of this, I mean, the guy lives in Norway, and he jumped at the opportunity. He is a force of movement. He is a world-renowned dancer and choreographer whose energy on stage is nothing short of electric. He was born in Iran, raised in Norway, and he's taken hip-hop and breakdance to new heights, becoming an award-winning performer who has captivated audiences across Europe with his originality and fire. And tonight marks a milestone, and I'm very proud of this. This is his first performance. This is his first day ever in North America. And he's chosen to share it with us at Roqe Live 5. He's a true innovator who turns rhythm into story and dance into defiance. Please welcome to our stage, performing a piece that he choreographed, a special performance, Navid Rezvani.
The breath of homeland rises deep within my soul. Woman's voice, breath of love, the fire that keeps me whole. Each step I take is stitched with stories never told. Each glance, a silent scream, a memory grown bold. They try to still my voice beneath the heavy veil, but breath will find its path like wind that bends the sail. I speak in quiet flames, in rhythm, blood and bone. My breath is not alone. My breath is not alone. From mother to daughter, through sorrow, through strife, we carry this breath, not just to live, but to life. A memory at first and now, a gathering storm, the pulse of a people beginning to transform. This is a breath that breaks, a breath that mends, a breath that dances, a breath that defends. This movement is not just a survival, but rising anew. Nafas is the name, and the Iranian women are its truth. با اجازه بزرگترا.
So that was okay. I mean, wow, man. Wow. You said that, I remember you saying to me on the phone, I'm going to do something that special, that you did this, you just choreographed this, yes? This is a new piece.
Right. Can I start by saying hello my way to the beautiful audience?
Please, please.
Toronto, Canada, if you guys are having a good time tonight, make some motherfucking noise!
There he is. There he is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, there's no need to swear.
Yes, my bro. I choreographed this, and it's probably some of the most meaningful patterns of movements that I could express myself with, because the topic touches something that is probably, as you guys all know, some of the biggest movements that totally shake the world. And each time I just think about this movement, I feel so small, and words become so poor. So I try my best.
But you don't need words. I mean, it's, we have great musicians here who speak through their piano or the guitar or their voice, and similarly, you speak through your body. And you've said that you believe art is the way to revolution, whatever revolution means in our context. But tell me about what drives you in terms of what you do.
I grew up as a son of a former diplomat. Yes, Islamic Republic. And that truly has a dark cloud following me everywhere that I go. And I feel a very strong responsibility to give back to a community that has been suppressed. And feeling that I've been a part of a ride that not directly, but indirectly been a part of this movement, putting pressure on people. I have no other way to give back, but to do everything that I can to uplift every Iranian worldwide, especially the women of Iran, because we owe them 46 years of strong strength right by them. Yes.
Good man. You're very powerful. I mean, it's funny because I feel like we've been in touch for a few years now, but this is actually last day has been the first time we've met in person. Right. But I feel like I know your work so intimately because it's so incredibly powerful. Seeing it in person is the next level, but I encourage you to see that Navid's work on his social media and his videos. And I mean, it's really, and of course you won those awards, and I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, and I hope you come back and do more of this in North America. I think you should, come for a tour, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you what the experience has been like the last 28, 24, or 48 hours to be in a place. I mean, you're not just from Norway. You're not even in Oslo in Norway. You're in a smaller town in Norway that I can't imagine has a lot of kababis, let alone the kind of community we have here. So what's it like for you to come to North America and feel the cultural embrace of this much Iranianness?
As a child, as a young kid growing up in the diplomatic life, I was told to stay away from Iranians because, of course, of the anger towards the diplomats. So I disconnected from the Iranian diaspora. I disconnected from the community. But when the Persia's Got Talent TV show came out and I got to get introduced to the Iranian audience, they showed me so much warmth. They showed me so much love, a feeling that I've been connected to thousands of people dancing all around me, but the way the Iranians took me in, it felt like a piece of a puzzle, a big piece fell in place, and I felt lifted, empowered. And I'm so grateful to be free now, finally speak political, dance political among Iranians and fight for freedom. But to answer your question really quick, when I came out here to Toronto in the car, the dude that was driving me, super nice guy, he was telling me, look, it says in Iranian, it says in Iranian, it says in Iranian. I'm like, I had to check my flight, be like, is it Tehran or Toronto? Because this is sick, awesome. And yeah, I felt like, whoa, if I knew Toronto was all so good like this, I would have been moving out here way back.
Hey man, you're welcome. We hope you do. We hope you. It's although Norway needs you too. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for being here. Your brother. I really appreciate the trip you made. I know you're here just for a couple of days, all the way from Norway. Thank you. We appreciate you. Come back, Navid Rezvani.
Happy New Year!
Everybody fucking jump!
Jian Ghomeshi, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, make some noise.
All right. That's all right. That's all right. I'm the host of the show. It's okay. They don't have to clap for me. This is Roqe, episode 391, live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. Sometimes we've done this, Roqe Live, and after the last one, a couple of critical types said to me, well, do you have to really talk about all the sponsors? And it is not easy, not to victimize ourselves, but it's not easy doing independent media. If you want to do any kind of media anywhere in the world at this point that is not beholden to a nation state or some massive corporation that has a certain ideological agenda or any particular political party, it's not easy to stay alive and to keep doing what you do and thrive. So we exist because of people who step up and sponsor, and hopefully we pay them back by giving them attention. So I'm going to talk about some of the sponsors tonight, and because they deserve it. And we'll do a bigger version of this on the recorded episodes of Roqe. But let me just recognize, first of all, in this little break here, the gold sponsors who've really stepped up. Pegah Law Firm, founded by Dr. Shali Zomadi, is a full-service practice offering expertise in civil litigation, family law, immigration and refugee law, personal injury, and real estate. Pegah Law provides services in English, Farsi, and Italian, and has proudly assisted hundreds of applicants, families, and claimants across Canada and abroad. Dr. Shali Zomadi personally specializes in very advanced immigration and refugee cases with a proven record of success at the highest levels of court in Canada. Shay and your team, you've been supportive of Roqe, and we really appreciate that. Annabelle Sharouyan. Annabelle Sharouyan. Annabelle is amazing. Annabelle is a seasoned mortgage broker with over 20 years of experience in the finance industry, specializing in residential and commercial mortgages. Currently working under Affinity Mortgage Solutions, she's built a strong reputation for securing customized financing solutions tailored to each client's unique needs. Her passion for helping clients achieve their financial goals makes her a trusted leader in the mortgage industry. So, mortgage, finance, Annabelle, but I have to say, she is one of those people who you will see if you go to events and galas, and who is there to support the community. I know there's a big Yaldone coming up that she's supporting, and I think Shali's involved in as well. And we really appreciate that, Annabelle, what you do and what you have done for Roqe Media and continue to do. And our third gold sponsor tonight, Shamshiri Restaurant. Now, Shamshiri, I've been, if you've listened to our show, you know you've heard me talk about Shamshiri. It's become a staple of the Persian community in Toronto, one of the city's most beloved Iranian restaurants, known for its authentic cuisine, warm atmosphere, consistency in bringing people together around the table. This was founded and it's run by Navid Rezvani, who joined us for a memorable interview on Roqe. And Shamshiri has grown into more than just a restaurant. It's a gathering place, it's a cultural hub, it's a taste of home for so many in the diaspora, from kebabs to stews to late night stories. It's a Toronto institution. Those of you who are here from out of town, have you done Shamshiri yet?
I went last time I was here.
All right.
Fantastic.
It's so good.
So
it
good.
really is so
it.
good. You're not going to find that shit in San Diego. I'm sorry. I know.
They were fantastic. Honestly, I have Kubide everywhere I go. Shamshiri was top notch.
Shamshiri
I think
is.
Shali went there today, no? Yeah. Was it good? You liked it?
Well,
Perfect.
what's she going to say?
I mean,
If she had a horrible
She
experience.
would be honest. She would be like, "Oh, it was good," but she did this. That means fantastic.
Thanks to Shamshiri, Navid, and the Shamshiri team. You guys are amazing. All right. This next guest, now, Roqe is a variety program. So these kind of guests that we have, like someone like Kaveh Yaghmaei, we just had on the program, who are involved in science, who are involved in ideas, are some of our favorite guests on this program. And she's never been on the show, but I've wanted her on the show for a long time, and I'm so glad that she's here for Roqe Live 5. She is a scientist, a communicator, a bridge builder, someone who takes the mysteries of the brain and makes them meaningful in our daily lives. Talk about someone we should be proud of as an Iranian community. Dr. Mahshad Kolahdouzan is a neuroscientist who completed her PhD at the University of Toronto, where she discovered a new mechanism for preventing pain. She discovered this. She did her master's at McGill, where she studied how the brain is affected in ALS. But her mission doesn't stop at the lab. With clarity, passion, and presence, she has become a voice for making neuroscience accessible, turning complex research into practical insights about healing the brain, protecting our cognitive health, and even preventing or reversing decline through lifestyle choices. Through her fast-growing platform, if you haven't seen her on Instagram and YouTube, she's got millions of followers. You should check her out. She explains things in such an accessible way. She's built a community hungry for knowledge, proof that science, when communicated with heart, can truly change lives. Please welcome to Roqe Live 5, Dr. Mahshad Kolahdouzan. Look at you. Look at the crowd. You're not not just a neuroscientist, you're a rock star.
I don't know about that.
She came on stage party. Like, woo, woo.
How does it happen? How does the brief story of how a Persian girl decided to become a star neuroscientist?
I never decided to become a star in neuroscience. I mean, I studied neuroscience. The brain is incredibly fascinating. The fact that you and I are talking right now, these neurons just talking to each other and interacting with each other, building connections, that's interesting, that's fascinating. And I always wanted to bring that to people, because at home, that's all we talk about. Come over. That's all we talk about. And I always thought the general public should have the privilege to have, or it's their right to have access to this knowledge that I have the privilege to have access to. And then the reason for Persian was because the English community has it, but the Persian community, I didn't feel like there was a person delivering science in a nuanced way that's honest and understandable and kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you do that. I mean, you've done it. You're so very real in the way you present things. I want to. We have a few minutes, and we decided to talk about one thing, and it was something that I was noticing that was quite popular in your posts, and I see a lot of reaction to this. It's basically aging and cognitive decline.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you are arguing that I think some people might take heart in this, that you seem to be uncovering for some of us, is that cognitive decline doesn't necessarily have to occur as we get older.
Exactly.
The presumption is we get older, we have, our brain doesn't work as well, and we decline mentally. You've argued that not only is that not necessarily the case, but you can prevent that. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so if you read any scientific papers that are published in peer-reviewed journal articles, a lot of times what they'll say is the number one risk factor for cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, dementia, is aging. And fair in that people who are older are more likely to get these diseases. But this is where I would argue you're looking at an association and not necessarily at least a direct causation, in that you can definitely stop or at least prevent or slow down the damage that you accumulate. I'm not going to say that inflammation in a 50-year-old body is the exact same as a 20-year-old body, but what I will argue is that if the 50
Wait, sorry, is the 50-year-old the old person? I thought I thought we were talking about 90-year-olds.
90-year-old, right. There you go. Okay, and a 90-year-old even versus a 50-year-old. Right. Absolutely, inflammation works differently. But in the body that is taken care of by the human that owns the body, it can stay young. And we have research specifically about the brain. I'll talk about that. There are people who do exercise who have never done exercise before, and their brain starts to regenerate. That's crazy, and that's something that up until 20 years ago we thought it stopped at 25.
What does it mean, the brain starts to regenerate?
So it starts to build new neurons and new connections between neurons. That's exactly what you want. That's what happens in a healthy brain, in a young brain, in a sharp brain.
So how do I get that? How do we do that? I'll take that.
Yeah. So it's through lifestyle factors. So what they find is that lifestyle factors are some of the most let me rephrase that. Lifestyle factors are the most impactful factors. But the caveat is that you cannot get one night of good sleep and expect to be very sharp the next day. It's a lifetime of doing or not doing. But the good news is it's never too late to start. It's also never too early to start. So again, a 70-year-old, if they start to play piano, their mind automatically becomes sharper, because now you're creating these connections between your brain and your fingers, and you're learning notes. That's a whole different set of connections, and you're learning this new skill, and they become better at other things. The person who sleeps well, the sleep is the only time your brain can clear out toxins. That's wild, and no one talks about it. Our society is built around don't sleep and work as hard as you can. The only time that you can build memories, remember things, and clear your brain is through sleep. So if you sleep well, guess what? The 70-year-old who slept well is going to be like a 40-year-old who didn't. That's science. We have science to show that.
What's the biggest misconception about getting older and cognitive decline?
It's inevitable that it's going to happen, and there's nothing I can do about it.
And that's not true.
Absolutely, it's not.
I mean, well, but it is kind of true, isn't it?
Depends on what you mean by cognitive decline, and depends by what we mean by, so there is a place in time where the damage has become so much that you can't do anything about that. That's not what I'm talking about. That's a very devastating situation. But until the damage hasn't happened, you can talk about losing 10%, and a sharp brain losing 10% is not that much. You can also talk about losing 50%. You can talk about a bit of cognitive decline that you don't even notice versus Alzheimer's. And these are the differences we can see more and more as we see that it's actually lifestyle factors that impact them. So the biggest thing, that I want people to believe is that, sure, cognitive decline to a degree, but it is not the sentence that we're dealt that no matter what, we're going to lose our brain function by 80.
Sometimes the things that we've heard, like, do crossword puzzles, Sudoku, that's going to be, it sounds kind of, that's not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the research now shows that those little brain games, they're not as effective as we think they are. Sure, they are in someone who's never done anything and they're learning just a little bit, but the brain is incredibly intelligent.
What about reading?
Reading depends on what you're reading. So fantasy novels are amazing because you're creating these worlds in your brain, which means you're creating these neurons to be able to create these worlds. Actually, studies have shown that people who read fantasy have a lower rate of Alzheimer's later in life. if reading comes with learning, so if you're actively trying to learn, so you write it down, you try to play it out in your life, you try to explain it to somebody, yeah, reading works. But the best thing, if you're talking about activity, is physical activity that requires learning.
Does TikTok make us dumber?
It's
a bit off topic, but I'm just curious now that I have you here.
Yeah, things like TikTok, they definitely decrease our attention span, and they make it harder for us to focus. And one of the biggest aspects of intelligence is being able to focus long enough to learn. So, yes.
Like, isn't it must be a bit ironic sometimes that you're teaching this stuff on platforms that, are...
You shouldn't be watching if you want the best for your brain health.
Right, that a neuroscientist might not think they're the best.
I think that you have to learn how to use the tool and look at it as a tool, but they are incredibly addictive. I think TikTok more than Instagram, because it has become this thing where it's a dopamine hit every second, and your brain wants that dopamine hit, so you get addicted to it, and then it impacts your attention.
Why this conversation seems to become more relevant as we get older, cognitive decline, like you sort of hit a certain age and go, should I start thinking about that?
Yeah.
So why should, given that, the Roqe audience is people usually in their 30s or early 40s. That's our main demographic.
Yeah.
Why should those people care about this?
That's actually my main demographic too. And I think for women, first of all, that's cognitive, at least brain fog, starts to happen around 40, especially because of perimenopause affecting women. And I get a lot of messages, women saying, I can't remember anything. Am I getting Alzheimer's? I'm like, how old are you? Like 42. No, you're not getting Alzheimer's. You're just in perimenopause. So that's a whole set of people who are very interested. And then also people who have a lot of people around them that they watch kind of deteriorate sometimes, especially cognitively, then they're like, how do I prevent that? I get that a lot. And I think in general, especially today with the lifestyle that we lead and with all the bombardment of like social media and lack of sleep and the processed food that we eat, the lack of activity, people at a young age need to be made more aware of, and they know this. I think people who are young know that they should be made aware of what to do to protect their brain, protect their body, which means their brain.
Yeah. The work you do is amazing. Your channel is really, really refreshing.
Thank you.
And it's such a pleasure to have you part of this. Thanks for doing this today.
Thank you for inviting me. This was fun.
Dr. Mahshad Kolahdouzan, be'eftikharish. This is Roqe, episode 391, live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. This is Roqe Live 5 in front of a packed house here. Our next guest is a sonic architect, a global presence, an internationally acclaimed DJ, a producer, an artist whose soundscapes have reverberated from Berlin to Bangkok, from Tehran to Toronto. Born Ali Khalaj in Tehran in 1971, sent to Germany at just 13, he discovered music through Berlin's Osho commune before becoming a key figure in the city's legendary techno scene. His tracks have been released on top international labels, and in 2019, his hit Stoneflower became Beatport's best-selling electronica track of the year. Beyond the dance floor, his creativity has spilled onto the canvas with his paintings exhibited in Berlin, and now through his project House of Namito, he is bringing his Persian roots into sharper focus, fusing heritage with modern sound. Tonight he's flown into town for a very special appearance here at Roqe Live 5. He's a master at what he does. It is a great pleasure to welcome to the Roqe Live 5 stage, DJ Namito. الان بغل کردیم گفت مریض شدی حالا. How you doing? How you feeling now?
Much better than yesterday.
You're doing okay. You seem
yesterday
okay.
I thought I have to cancel.
Yeah. What kind of drugs have you been taking? I don't mean in general.
I just went to the pharmacy and asked them for something. I don't even know what it was. I took 2 and slept a lot.
You fantastic.
I'm Berliner, dude.
you didn't even ask them what it was. What do you need?
I can't hear him.
Thanks. That's DJ Al, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Al.
I couldn't hear him. I wanted to hear what he had to say. What kind of drugs he took.
That's the part you needed to hear. Things are going great for you, if you don't mind me saying.
No, it's awesome, actually.
Yeah, you've been at this for decades, and yet you're an overnight rock star.
I don't see myself as a rock star, but like as we talked like the other day, what's crazy is like the love I get from the Iranian community, and it's overwhelming actually.
Talk to us about that, because you're Iranian, and you were working in Berlin and around the world as a DJ for many years. In the last few years, there was this portal into the Iranian community, and Eureka, you've described this as a new life. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, and so I've been doing this since 36 years, and I've had a few worldwide hits before, but there was never so much like enthusiasm and so much support, and it's really I have sometimes a hard time to understand what's going on actually.
You're actually a very modest guy. I know you, and you don't carry yourself as someone who feels this is something that's owed to you, or it really seems like it's a surprise to you that you're getting this much attention.
Yeah. I mean, most of my friends in Germany, back in Germany, are now doing other things because the whole scene changed. They are not getting any bookings, and I'm very grateful for what happened, this niche of Iranian house music, and how much love I get. Really, I can't just say it enough. It's amazing.
You've said that house music is a feeling. It's not a genre. It's not a style of music. It's a feeling. Can you put into words what that means? Yeah, so I'm one of the first guys who started this whole thing in Berlin, and for example, we never have fights in clubs or in house music parties. I said that actually once in LA, and then at night we had a fight. So it's more like a way of living. It's kind of open-minded. It's fun-loving. It's not too serious. And I'm a big child actually, having fun still. You're about to. I know there's some big shows that you're about to announce that you're, well, first of all, I mean, there's people listening to us around the world. I know you got a big gig in Dubai coming up, and you're kind of all over the world. There's some other shows that will be announced soon, yes?
Yeah, I was actually looking at Al when Mahshad was talking about not sleeping and the consequences, and we're like,
yeah, we don't get a lot of that.
It's not gonna be. It doesn't look good.
No, yeah, I mean, you got to listen to her. That's so do I. You know, this sleeping thing. Apparently, sleep is good for you.
I can't. How am I supposed to do it? You know, it's just permanent traveling. Actually,
now listen.
Fun.
Listen, we there's something that you and I have been discussing, which is that. You are here on stage, and we're into the show here, but there's still some time left in the show. And you have agreed, I believe, to create a track.
Yes.
During the time of this show, yes, that you will unveil to us at the end of we're going to play at the end of the show, right?
Yes.
And you're going to do that based on you're going to do that based on a sample or making some recordings of something in this house, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can we get this microphone on here? And come on to the front of the stage with me here. Let me pick, just because you're looking at it that way. Maziar Falahi, will you come on stage? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Maziar. با این لباس خوشتیپش بیاد. Okay. So Maziar Jan, so what do we what do we want Maziar to do?
I would like to, if you play any instruments or sing or we can it can be a rhythm or whatever.
شما خواهی چیزی سامپل کنی دیگه, right?
I'm going to record this with my phone. Actually.
هلو خب بذار یه ذره فارسی حرف بزنم دلم باشه همچی یه جیغ بی خودی بزنیم مرسی این بالایی هم یه جیغی بزنم این انرژی خوب بود خب ما یه چیزی میخوایم بخونیم و
شما اگر you play guitar, right? Okay, if we bring a guitar and you do some kind of if you do do something that the crowd maybe can sing with you, and you will sample that, and then میشه؟
I think we should. من ببینم صدای گیتار اگر خوب بود یه کاریش میکنم. الان نمیدونم چیکار میکنیم ولی منم بسیار نمیدونم در چیکار میکنیم.
یعنی چی؟
ببینیم صداش میاد. آخه بعد یه چیزی هم بخونم خب پس صدای
من میخوام یه چیزی بخونی که اینا بچه‌ها میتونن they can sing as well and then he can record it.
ولی یه بار بدون مردم بگیره یه تیکه موزیکو فقط و یه بارم با مردم زود.
ببینید مثلا من نمیدونم صدای گیتار اگه صدای گیتار خوب نیاد این چیزی که من میخوام بخونم نشه میتونم بدون گیتارم یه چیزی بخونیم که پس بذار آره چون میترسم صدا درسته من اینو میذارم اینجا. خب الان تازه فهمیدم چیکار میخوایم بکنیم اصلا. خب بذار من برگردم اینجا یه بار دیگه جیغی بزنیم. خب
ژیان برو بشین تو اوکی go sit down bro we got the rest of the show.
امیدوارم این کاری که میکنیم همونی باشه که شما میخواین. خب یه چیزی پس بذار همون ببین ساقی‌ها رو میخونم ساقی‌ها شما با من اوکی خوبه اوکیه یه بار تست بکنیم ساقی‌ها رابیا پیکارم که بلدی پیکار رو سنگین بریز واسه دل غمگین بریز بقیه رو من میخونم فقط دستم با من بزنیم بزنین دو انگشتی بزنین. خب نمیدونم هنوزم نمیدونم درسته؟ همچنین گفت بیا من اومدم. خب بذار من ببینم ریتم تو چه تمپو چه سرعتیه.
میخوایی یه تیکه
پیکار و سنگین بریز خیلی بلندتر از دل و از جون بریز مست و غزل خون بریز عاشق و رسوا دلم. خب فقط همون ساقیاشو میخوام میگم یه خورده چون صدای شما رو اینجا میخوام رکورد بکنیم. شما الان خواننده اید اوکی؟ ساقیا ساقیا با دل ما را بیا پیکار و سنگین بریز واسه دل غمگین بریز از دل و از جون بریز مست و غزل خون بریز عاشق و رسوا دلم محو تماشا دلم با تو زیر بارون دلم خسته و مجنون دلم. تازه گرم شد یه بار دیگه من نه سم کن من دیگه نمیرم پایین در من آوردی پایین.
چطور بود؟ مرسی عزیزم. That was great. That was perfect. مرسی. مازیار فلاحی. Okay. حالا was that okay? That's it.
I hope it sounds okay. I recorded it and
من میگم یه بار دیگه هم بگیریم. کریم نشو کنم.
Okay. Now
I'm a pro.
You're a pro. You're a pro. Here's what I'm going to make you do though. Okay? We have a spot up there and a seat up there. So you're going to go sit up there so we can watch you create this while you do this. Is that okay?
Yes.
DJ Namito, he'll be back later in the show. I'm looking forward to this.
تمام اینا که نشستن تمام اینا که ایستادن میرفتن همه دست بالا سر بکش بالا آقا بکش بالا بکش بالا بیا بالا بیا بالا حالا 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 بلند
This is Roqe, episode 391, live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts, Roqe Live 5. You know, I'm very excited about our next performer. I was thrilled when she accepted the invite to fly in from Vancouver for this date. I think this person is a superstar in the making. She calls herself a storyteller and a voice for the voiceless. She is a singer, a songwriter, a producer who turns pain into power and memory into music. Her sound blends Persian roots with dark, timeless soul. Prepare to feel every note. Performing her new release, Tehran, please welcome to the Roqe Live 5 stage, Rubina.
To the pond, the fish would swim. Grandma curled us back inside. Count the stars, take our time. Is it just a memory? I need to back it up, move till I give me up, move till I give me up. Back it up, move give me a بخون برام about the place we're from بخون برام the way mama used to hum نرو بمان before it is all gone بخون برام in the place we call Tehran. In the city streets, the ocean breeze, we're together all at peace. I am breathing some fantasy. Take it with me through the sea. I need to pack it up, move till I give me a, move till I give me a. I need to pack it up, move till I give me a. About the place we're from, Bechum Baram, the way mama used to hum, Naro Bemor, before it is all gone, Bechum Baram, in the place we call Tehran. بخون برام که صدا گم نشه نرو بمان رو تن این کوچه ها نرو بمان ما هنوز اینجاییم بیا بخون برام about the place we're from بخون برام the way mama used to hum نرو بمان before it is all gone بخون برام in the place we call Tehran. Oh, oh, Tehran, oh.
Rubina!
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
How's everybody doing tonight? درود به همگی. Woohoo!
I mean, this is a new song. This is a new birth, new child of yours, yes?
Yes.
Tell us
this is my
about
baby.
it. Tell us about it.
Well, as you can see in the video and in the music, Tehran is just like a very warm space for me, and I think we can all relate to that, home being such a warm place, surrounded by love and peace and joy and happiness. And what I like to do with my art is, you know, we live in such a dark world, and I feel like the purity of childhood, the purity of family, the purity of love itself brings us closer together and away from the darkness of the world, the violence of the world. And that's what I was trying to do with Tehran.
Why did it feel like...
Thank you.
Why did now feel like the right time for this song?
Sorry?
Why did now feel like the right time for this song?
I've been building myself a lot. I've been studying music actually in Vancouver and trying every music class possible. Shout out to my mom who's been there for me ever since day one. She's been sitting in the car waiting for me to get my classes done. And just building on myself. And I think right now I'm ready to speak. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to tell people about where I'm from and what I'm gonna do with where I'm from and where I'm gonna take that.
You know, what is the video? What are we seeing in the video there?
This is just a very cute, cozy family and just the upbringing of a child, second birthday, third birthday, kind of family gatherings. Yeah.
You're only 21.
I'm 21.
You're 21.
Yeah.
You're not a candidate for cognitive. You don't have to worry about cognitive decline yet. I'm not sure. You might have to.
I was seeing the symptoms inside myself. I was like, whoa.
I know. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Make sure you sleep. I'm following you and seeing you're a very creative artist. You have all kinds of iterations of yourself. Mm-hmm. And it was only when I learned that you've traveled a lot in your life that it kind of made sense. I was thinking, how does a 21-year-old have this kind of perspective or bring all these different ideas to the world? So talk to me about that. Tell us about your journey through life so far.
Well, I mean, I really don't know where to start already because there's so many instances, but yes, that's right. I've been living in various different places and I was only 14 when I moved to Switzerland for boarding school, and I mean, it was just a fascinating experience. I was way more independent, and also what you could hear in my music.
Sure,
right now.
You moved from Tehran, right? You moved
yes. I'm born and raised in Tehran, T-Town, and that's why I wrote this, because of the instances that I had, the memories, the nostalgia. In my sense, the nostalgia. But yeah, and in Switzerland or many other places, I lived in New York, I lived in Dubai, and I feel like I noticed something within myself. I love seeing different cultures. I love communicating with different cultures, and in my music you can hear. I never thought I could mix Afro house or Afro beats with Persian santur. Like, it was out of this world, but music gave me the space to bring it all in action.
And I struggled a little bit with how to describe you. I was trying to write an introduction for you, and I was thinking, remember I called you and I was like, how do you, because you're not just a piano player or a video maker, or so how do you self-define as an artist? How do you describe yourself?
I think everything I do in music and in art is with a purpose, and I really connected with what Navid was saying. I do feel responsible, and I feel like as an artist I want to use my platform or use my music to speak about the true meaning of art and the true purpose of art, and create a world where people can imagine. It's hard these days, but I feel like we need it. So
you're so talented, and I mean, I don't keep the harp on you being young, but you've got so much you're going to do, and it's so exciting to see you now doing this, and to think about where you go. Do you have a goal in mind? Do you have a role model where you say, I want to be this, or do you have a vision of yourself 10 years from now?
Well, role model, I love MJ. Michael Jackson, he's a legend and will always be. And I kind of put on a suit sometimes and I'm like, I could be a king.
Wow.
That kind of vibe. But I want to see where the journey takes me, and I want to meet new artists and want to. You
would have been 5 when Michael Jackson died, right? That's cool. I mean, it's interesting that you've gone back and.
That's right. That's right. I actually learned about him after his death.
Yeah,
because obviously at 5 I didn't know what was going on. But Yeah.
But I wouldn't have guessed that Michael Jackson is your role model.
I know.
That's cool.
It's strange, but he's what he did for
one of our great Iranian artists. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I came out to Michael Jackson tonight too as well. Yeah.
Right.
So, congratulations on where
Thank
you've
you
come
so
so far. You got a gig at a couple for people in the Toronto area in a couple of days from now at Takotuk.
Yes.
We love what they do as well, and hopefully it'll be a great show. I'm going to come see you there. Thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you.
Keep coming back to Toronto, around the world. I'm so excited to see what you do next.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for coming. Thanks.
Rubina, everybody, Rubina.
شدی نفس تو دلم عشقت یه نشست تو رو میبینم انگار توی قلبم زلزله تویی که تو دل بری ازم یه جوری استادی که نگم هرچه باشی پیشم عشقم خیلی خوش میگذره به من دختر چه شب رو مسکی که دل نمیره به هیچکی تو مالم نداشتی یه پسر خوب میخواستی که بمونه راستی راستی من شدم همونی که خواستی دختری رونی نمیدونی که شده کشته مردم این پسر بد سرش شده یه بچه مصفت دختری رونی نمیدونی که شده کشته مردم این پسر بد سرش شده یه بچه مصفت
This is Roqe, episode 391, live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the poor. Settle down, Jian. Live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. Let's hear it. DJ Al.
Yeah.
Chatori, Khubi.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
What yes, clearly. What a khafan show so far, huh?
That's it. I love this, man. This is so much fun. Toronto, make some noise for yourself for being so cool.
You know, you can't keep calling them Toronto. We're in Richmond Hill. Be careful.
I'm sorry, Richmond Hill, make some noise for yourself. Come on!
The mayor of Richmond Hill is here, not the mayor of Toronto.
Mayor of Richmond Hill, make some noise. Come on!
The mayor was like, oh, I guess I have to. Let me tell you about the silver sponsors for tonight. What a fantastic group. First of all, Accounting, a full-service firm led by chartered professional accountants specializing in live accounting, online bookkeeping, and tax solutions using cloud-based technology. They provide real-time insights that simplify financial management and support business growth. Thank you, Accounting. Thank you, Kaveh. Thank you, Lida. Yes. Thank you to Urban Windows and Doors. For over 20 years, Urban Windows and Doors have delivered comfort, quality, and long-lasting value to homes in our community with exceptional service and trusted craftsmanship. They are wonderful supporters. I thank you to Nima and thank you to Sean from Urban Windows and Doors. Sean has been a supporter of so many events around in the Greater Toronto area and beyond, Persian events in particular, and of Roqe as well. Thank you guys. Urban Windows and Doors. You can clap for them. I Welcome is the only Iranian Canadian company in premium tours, travel, and limo services, redefining journeys across the GTA with a modern fleet and professional drivers. They ensure every ride is comfortable, stylish, and reliable. Visit iwelcome.ca to learn more. Amin and his crew are amazing. I think you came in, you were driven by I Welcome, were you not? When you got here at the airport?
Yeah, which one was it? No, I was wearing something else, huh?
You're what?
What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. So go back to. Sit down. Why are you? I know. I'm sorry. We don't have a monitor for you. I was nothing. I was talking about how khosh tip you are. Thank you. I Welcome. TIA Immigration, Elahe Rezvani. Thank you so much, Elahe. Kaveh Rezvani. TIA Immigration specializes in work permits, startup visas, investment-based immigration with professionalism and transparency. Kaveh has guided clients worldwide on their journey to permanent residency in Canada. TIA Immigration, Kaveh Rezvani, thank you. And also, if you ever go to Gugush and you're sitting next to her, she sings louder and better than Gugush. So you have to, make that plan. Get the ticket next to her. Humana Golruch, one of Toronto's most respected real estate brokers. Human is celebrated not only for his professional achievements, but also for his dedication as a patron of the arts. His support reflects a deep commitment to culture and community. I've had personal experience working with Human Golruch in his real estate capacity. He's a wonder. He's a wonderful guy and does an incredible job. Thank you, Human. Ravi Artisans. Ravi. Now, I know you can do better than that, Ravi. Ravi Artisans is a collective of 5 creative Iranian brands. Alia Pastry, we love Alia. Avers, Jadeite, Famluxy, 2 Art, built on unity, trust, and collaboration. Together, they showcase art, friendship, and entrepreneurship in one inspiring movement. This is an amazing women's collective. Thank you so much, Ravi Artisans, as ever. And finally, Furuk Catering, founded by Chef Furuk Qayedi. Furuk Catering has brought authentic Persian-inspired dishes to Toronto for over 6 years. Known for creativity and quality, Furuk proudly shares her signature recipes, including her renowned chicken pate. Now, you're all in for a surprise if you didn't see it already, because Furuk Catering is doing the reception after this, where we'll come out. All of the guests here will come out and take photos with you, and she's done the catering, and she's just immaculate at what she does. So happy to have Furuk part of this. Thank you. Thank you to all of the silver sponsors. All right.
When I hear ads, I just want to fast forward it, and I was trying to fast forward, I couldn't, because you're just like, you're here and you were doing it. So one more time, make some noise for all the sponsors that we couldn't skip.
A sensitive way of dealing with our sponsors. Thank you, DJ Al. Okay, our next guest, he carries one of the most famous names in Iranian music, but he has never stood in anyone's shadow. As the son of the legendary Kaveh Yaghmaei, Kaveh has carved his own distinct path as an award-winning Iranian-Canadian musician, composer, producer, trained in classical music from a young age. He later embraced rock as a way to modernize Iranian music, blending classical, folk, and rock traditions into a unique modern style that bridges East and West. He made history with his sold-out 1997 rock concert, a milestone for contemporary Iranian music, and has since continued to inspire as a performer, as a mentor, nurturing new artists while maintaining a strong connection to his roots. Now based in Canada, of course, he continues to create, perform, and define his own legacy. And alongside him tonight is his wife, Niloufar, an artist and a musician in her own right, who has shared the stage and the story, building music and meaning together. Their partnership is as much about harmony as it is about heart. Please welcome to the Roqe Live 5 stage, Kaveh Yaghmaei Niloufar. Kaveh Jun, Niloufar Jun, it's so nice to have you guys here. Merci. Thank you.
درود بر همگی.
Let me just say at the beginning of this, we're going to have a little small chat, and then hopefully there's a little surprise later in the show. Not much of a surprise because I'm announcing it, but we're going to see something later in the show. But let's have a little chat first. Something exciting that has happened for both of you in the last show. English, Farsi, whatever it goes. Something that's exciting that's happened in the last year is you've moved from Vancouver to Toronto, a move that feels like it's been really positive for you, like it's a big one, and you've come into this big community here. And Niloufar, I know you're busy teaching. You have like an insane schedule. You were teaching until the show tonight, right? Which is reflective of how you've integrated into this community so quickly. Tell me about the move to Toronto and what it's meant to you guys.
Hi everyone. Actually, Toronto is very welcoming, first of all. The community and everything is fantastic. We've been in Vancouver for 26 years, but we never had this much energy, I believe, although I love it there. Well, yeah, fortunately, I think I can say from the art and work and everything, I find it much more comfortable. And yeah.
Why do you find it more comfortable? Out of curiosity, why do you find it more comfortable?
Actually, I don't know. I think I didn't find my job here. The job found me. This is the first time something like that happened to me. Like there's been a piano studio who contacted me and they asked me to teach there. I'm pretty sure there have been teachers maybe there, they knew me or something, which made it easier. So these are the things that you never see in Vancouver. Or the academy we opened with Kaveh. Actually, Kaveh opened his academy recently. Well, lots of beautiful people came in and showed up the very first month that we opened it. So these are the things which are
جالب بود. کاوه جان این اکادمی یعنی این اومدی تورنتو، این ساختی، این باز کردی. ونکوور نمیتونستی یک کاری مثل اینطوری مثل این شروع کنی یا چطور شد که اومدی کانادا، اومدی تورنتو و اکادمی اینجا باز کردی؟
عرض کنم که شرایط خیلی عجیبی رو ما توی 4 دهه گذشته به عنوان هنرمند، موزیسین گذروندیم. همه ما به صورتی چه در داخل کشور چه در خارج از کشور لطمه‌های عجیبی خوردیم. خیلی همون از بین رفتن از طرق مختلف. اما اونچه که من میخوام امشب اینجا تاکید بکنم روش اینه که شما کار فوق‌العاده خوبی انجام دادین. امشب من افتخار اینو دارم که در خدمت شما هستم برای قدردانی از یکی از دوستانم که بیشتر شبیه برادر منه. در واقع بابک یکی از موزیسین‌های فوق‌العاده ارزشمند ایرانه. مثل من میگم این مسئله تعریف یا اینی که من بخوام اینجا در واقع چیزی رو تاکید بکنم روش نیست. خیلی از موزیسینایی که در هر کشور هستن کارایی انجام میدن که در واقع در نوع خودش یونیک هست و متاسفانه در کشور ما قدردانی از این جور آرتیست ها اتفاق نیفتاده. برعکس ما حدوداً 3 مدل موزیسین داریم، 3 مدل آرتیست داریم. آرتیستایی داریم که سکوت میکنن در مقابل دیکتاتوری، آرتیستایی که همکاری میکنن و آرتیستایی که مبارزه میکنن برای مردم خودشون. متاسفانه این مبارزه هزینه داره، شرایط وحشتناکی برای موزیسین‌ها به وجود میاد. موزیسینایی که برای مردم خودشون با حکومت خودشون مبارزه میکنن. تعداد این موزیسین‌ها مشخص نیست، این هنرمندا مشخص نیست، ولی امیدوارم که کشورمون هر چه زودتر از این وضعیت رها بشه، جمهوری اسلامی منفجر بشه، ما بتونیم در ایران آزادمون زندگی بکنیم.
خب شما اخیراً هم یه 3-4 ماه پیش تو آلمان بودین. یه جلسه اونجا بود about the future of Iran، آینده ایران. کمی توضیح بده how that inspired you and what you believe is going, how much you believe change is possible in Iran in the coming future.
تغییرات قطعیه به خاطر ناکارآمدی حکومت جمهوری اسلامی و خواست مردم عزیزمون. تغییرات قطعی است، فقط هر چه زودتر و هر چه بیشتر ما تلاش بکنیم کشورمون زودتر رها خواهد شد و از این وضعیت واقعا خلاص خواهیم شد، تک به تکمون. من در واقع در آلمان افتخار این داشتم که در کنفرانس مونیخ بودم، اونجا اجرایی انجام شده. امیدوارم که به زودی اتفاقات جدیدی که هست پشت سر هم در واقع همه ما هنرمندا به این نتیجه رسیدیم که باید اقدام بکنیم، باید در واقع یک کاری بکنیم. تنها هستیم و فقط روی خودمون باید حساب بکنیم برای آزادی ایران.
Nice. You know, changing gears slightly, but because I have both of you here, you guys, your story is quite amazing. You've been together a long time. You met musically you met first, and you've been both musical partners and personal partners, personal life, professional life for 3 decades, a long time. More than that?
More than that, yes.
And what is the secret to, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of doing that together. People say don't mix your business and your private life. Tell us about how you've made that work.
فکر میکنم از 1987 من نیلوفر رو توی کنسرواتوار تهران در واقع، خب اون جدا بود در واقع، کنسرواتوار تهران بعد از انقلاب جدا شد، از اون حالتی که وجود داشت در واقع تغییر پیدا کرد. نیلوفرینا در میدون ولیعصر بودن. ولیعصر در واقع یه ساختمون جدیدی ساخته بودن اونجا و ما در خیابون سپه پهلوی، تقاطع سپه روبروی کاخ مرمر، اونجا هنرستان عالی موسیقی چهار پهلوی. بله. و عرض کنم خدمتتون که برنامه‌هایی انجام میشد و نیلوفر یکی از بهترین پیانیستایی بود که من اونجا، فقط مسئله من نبود، من همه پسرها می‌خواستیم با نیلوفر یه جوری دوست بشیم. خلاصه من یه روزی امتحان تاریخ موسیقی داشتم و یه کتابی بود اونجا که ما باید می‌خوندیم به اسم کتاب تاریخ موسیقی نوشته آقای سعدی حسنی. من ظهر بلند شدم و فرداشم طبق معمول امتحان داشتم و دیدم که کتابم نیست. از خواهرم پرسیدم که ساتکین جان این کتاب من کجاست؟ ساتکین گفتش که دست یکی از دوستام نیلوفر. گفتم ای آقا من فردا امتحان دارم بابا، این چیکارش کنم؟ گفت چی الان بریم بگیریم. خلاصه ما آماده شدیم و رفتیم دم خونه نیلوفرینا. من ندیده بودم تا حالا نیلوفر رو. زنگ زدیم و خلاصه در باز شد و من دیدم که اصلا امتحان چیه؟ من آقا بریم تو. خلاصه ما رفتیم تو دیگه، از همونجا داستان شروع شد و من افتخار اینو داشتم که با نیلوفر آشنا شدم و دیگه در این دوران من تونستم در واقع این، واقعا میگم این افتخار رو داشتم که باهاش بتونم هم همکاری بکنم هم زندگی بکنم.
از نیلوفر جان از طرف شما حالا your perspective on it.
من از ساتکین شروع میکنم، خواهر کاوه، چون ساتکین یک خواننده فوق‌العاده هست و متاسفانه در ایران زندانی حدوداً، برای اینکه خب بیرون نتونسته بیاد و قاعدتاً کارم انجام نداده. کاراش قطعاً تو کارهای کوروش یا بک‌گراندهای کاوه شنیدیم، ولی متاسفانه خب یکی از کسایی که من همیشه تو ذهنم هست با من، چون اصلا باعث بانی آشنایی من با کاوه و خانواده یغمایی ساتکین بود تو هنرستان. در حقیقت کاوه مزاحم دوستی ما دوتا شد. ولی در حال این از اون داستان از همونجا شروع میشه که تو هنرستان بودیم و کاوه هم یک امتحان خیلی سنگین فلوت میزد. اون موقع کلاسیک باید فلوت میزد توی مدرسه. منم سال دوم بودم، کاوه چهارم، و قرار شد با هم از همونجا من داستان بک کاوه رو باید میگم تا امروز. و خب یه قطعه فوق‌العاده سخت بود برام، ولی واسه که آبروم نره دیگه تمام تلاشمو کردم و امتحان کاوه رو باش. اولین همکاری ما از اونجا شروع شد.
And what's the secret to staying together?
من 17 سالم بود.
What's the secret to staying together?
I think
من میتونم بگم.
خواهش میکنم.
ما در واقع نیلوفر، من وقتی باش آشنا شدم یک سگ داچون داشت که اینو نگه داشت. من فکر میکنم 18 سال شد این رو نگه داشته بود و این دیگه اصلا هیچ چیز کار نمیکرد، یعنی فقط یه موجودی بود. بعد من یه دفعه به نیلوفر گفتم که نیلوفر اگه ممکنه تو منم مثل این نگه دار. نیلوفر گفتش که ایراد نداره، اگه تو هم اخلاقتو مثل این بکنی من نگهت میدارم.
خیلی خوشحالم که اینجا هستی. I know we're going to see you later in the show. Kaveh Yaghmaei Niloufar Yaghmaei. مرسی عزیزان.
مرسی.
جاده تک و تنها یه مسافر توی شبها کوله باره غم رو دوشه صد هزار قصه تو گوشه نمیدونم که کجا.
I hope you'll forgive me if I use a script for this part because I'm a little worried about doing it without a script. So I'm gonna just read some words that I've written here. Something that binds us all together in this room, the collective experience of being Iranian. We are all exiles in one way or another, and each story of an Iranian immigrating is a remarkable one because it usually has not been by choice. And if it ever was, it has come with the price of it being hard to be able to go back, especially in the years after the Islamic Revolution. So I want to share one of those stories. The picture behind me is my beautiful dad. And my beautiful dad died 11 years ago on this day, at this time, exactly, right around this time, exactly 11 years ago at Sunnybrook Hospital, in front of my mom and my sister who are here tonight, and my cousin, and he wasn't expected to die. He had gone in for something of a routine surgery operation, and you know that thing where you sign at the beginning and you say, you know, there's a 5% chance something might happen. In this case, it happened, and so it was very difficult for us. And from the moment that we booked this night for Roqe Live, you know, October 2nd is always a tough day for me because it's the day of losing my dad. And my dad was my hero. And I have a tattoo of my dad's signature in Farsi on my arm. And you know, it's from years ago, and we were sitting at the kitchen table, and I said, Dad, can you sign your signature so I can scan it and make a tattoo? And he was like, why you want to do this? You know, he kind of, but did it, and I made this tattoo. And people have asked me over the years, well, why do you have this tattoo? His name was Fat Hank. So they see Fat Hank on my arm, and they think I put culture there, but it's actually my dad's name. And they say, why do you have this tattoo? And you know, my dad wasn't a celebrity, and he wasn't a business magnate, and he wasn't a rock star, but he was the greatest man I've ever known. If you had the chance to meet my dad, then you would know the beauty and dignity and power of his presence. If you didn't, perhaps you've heard me talking about him over the years. He was a sage. He was a charmer, he was a thinker, and his laugh was so infectious that you couldn't escape his embrace. You would have no choice but to join in. He would start laughing and you would too. And his life in 3 acts was a remarkable and inspiring tale, and not an easy one. His first act in Iran was an extraordinary story of loss and resilience. My dad lost his dad when he was 15 years old. They're from Khuzestan. He was born in Abadan. They lived in Ahvaz and Desfou and then moved to Tehran. And he became the de facto father and breadwinner of a family of 7 children. He was the oldest. And he assumed responsibility for the business, and he helped his mom, my grandmother, took care of the siblings, and put himself through university. He didn't have much of a social life until, well, pretty much never when he was in Iran. And his second act, beginning in his mid-30s, was a pioneering migration to the West. You know, my parents came west before the revolution. He and my mom left Iran first for England, and then for Canada at a time when few other families were doing so. And he was seeking to build a prosperous and safe life for his new young family. And he did so, eventually working for Ontario Hydro as a well-respected engineer. My dad was a civil engineer. And he believed in Canada, you know? He believed in Canada long before we came here. And he became a great patriot after we arrived, deeply loving what he saw as a progressive new world. He profoundly cared about the direction of this country. And then his third act was a transformation into a gentle and wise soul who was, I think, the finest role model in the world. No one had more integrity. No one carried himself with more dignity in his decisions and selflessness. No one gave up of more of himself to his family and loved ones. You know, you may know, if you know me and you've heard it, you know my dad's mantra was, please work harder. You know, it would be like, Dad, I got an A+, that is great, please work harder. He fueled my ambitions. But his greatest quality was his ability to inspire others with his compassion and support. He was very often formal in his dealings, but always kind. And he was terribly loving in a very modest way. One of his last conscious acts was to repeatedly thank the hospital staff for the work they were doing before he died. He hated the idea of people making a fuss about him. And even when he was in terrible pain in his final couple of weeks, he would insist that we all go on about our lives and not be burdened by his sickness. He was always very proud of being Iranian. And he really wanted Iran to return to greatness. And he thought it was possible. He thought it was possible to return to something that he had before the revolution. He taught me that Iran and being Iranian was part of his heart, and it became a part of mine. And he taught me what love is. And he lived a much harder life than new generations, including myself and many of us, would ever have to endure. We don't know who we are if we don't know where we come from. So to the mothers and fathers that we have lost and upon whose shoulders we rest, merci.
روزای سخت نبودن با تو خلأ امید و تجربه کردم داغ دلم که بی تو تازه می شد هم نفسم شد سایه سردم تو رو می دیدم از اون ور ابرا که میخوای سری از من رچی آسمونو بی تو خطی کردم چجوری میتونی انقدر بچی چجوری میتونی انقدر بچی سکوت قلب تو بشکن و برگرد نذار این فاصله بیشتر از این شه نمیخوام مثل گذشته که رفتی دوباره آخر قصه همین شه سکوت قلب تو بشکن و برگرد نذار این فاصله بیشتر از این شه نمیخوام مثل
This is Roqe episode 391, live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts, Roqe Live 5. Let's check in with Namito and find out. Namito, can you somebody give him there he is. How you doing over there? Oh, can you move into the spotlight? There, there he is. Yeah. How's it going? You're writing. You're doing well. No, go. There he is. There he is. You what's that? It's going to be a short one. No, it needs to be at least a couple of minutes long. Is that possible? You're working away. Thank you. Namito, everybody, working on a song he's creating during the show. I think this is something that we're going to end up putting on Spotify, and this could be,
Watch it be a big hit.
It probably will be.
It will be.
Maziar, Namito, what a duo.
Hell
yeah. A quick thank you to our amazing bronze sponsors tonight. I2 Canada, Vahid Babai, you're wonderful at what you do. We really appreciate you. Lazar Prop Creation, Ramteen, thank you so much, man. You are tireless, and we really appreciate you. And Ontario Camera, every time we do a Roqe Live, they help us with the equipment. And Daniel and the team, we just appreciate you so much. Thank you. Okay, here we go. She is a beloved Iranian-American journalist and longtime anchor for Fox 5 Morning News in San Diego. Known for her charisma, her infectious laugh, and her uncanny ability to bring joy to her audience with everything from sharp reporting to spontaneous dance moves. Born and raised in California, she earned degrees in journalism and political science from California State University, Fullerton, and was crowned Miss Orange County, USA in 2001 before going on to build a distinguished career in broadcast journalism. Over more than a decade, she has interviewed political leaders, A-list celebrities, has been recognized with numerous honors, including Best Anchor in San Diego in 2019. But beyond the resume, she is a face of connection, resilience, and spirit for the Iranian American community. Tonight, she brings that very presence to our stage. Please welcome Shali Zomadi. Does that become a chore that you have to do the dance every time you come up?
Oh, I love to dance.
I hope so. I hope you didn't feel like you had to do that.
No, I love to dance.
What a 24 hours you've had.
Yes.
Describe the 24 hours you've had.
Got up, went to work 3 a.m, did the news, got home, took care of my 4 kids, picked up my stuff, went to the airport, flew here, landed, took a nap, went to Shamshiri with my family here.
You flew overnight?
Overnight.
Yeah.
Took off at 10, landed at 5 a.m, ate some food, and now I'm here. And I'm leaving at 4 a.m.
I just think first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. And for, I've often, I don't know if you've noticed this, and you're not going to call yourself a big star, but years of interviewing people, the ones who are the most high maintenance, maybe you want to say, are sometimes the people who are not very well known. And then you'll have this person. I always think of people like Tony Bennett, who was the most gracious person, who would do anything. I had the chance to interview him a few times, and he was Paul McCartney. And you were like that. You were yes. I asked you.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm all those things. That's
you
so
are,
sweet.
and you're so. I mean, you have been, no word of a lie, the easiest person on this show to deal with.
Oh,
for this.
Don't tell my
husband. And everybody's been wonderful.
Don't tell my husband that.
What does your husband know?
That I'm the easiest person?
Is he not? He wouldn't agree with that?
After 27 years? Yeah, he might disagree.
All right. Well, you have to take Kaveh's dog story. I'm not sure if you heard it, but use that as
I heard that.
instructive. You left me a message this morning saying you had just walked outside at Young and Steele's here in Toronto, at the heart of, the epicenter of the Toronto Iranian community, you might say, and you left me a message saying, "What is this place?" Tell me about. You're the one who travels from Iranian community to Iranian community, but you're clearly seeing something here that is different.
I mean, like nothing. And I'm from Southern California, and we have our Tehran Jalais, and we have Orange County, and so I just did Mehrgan with thousands and thousands of people. And this morning I woke up, I had no makeup on, and I said, "Okhesh, I'm not going to put makeup on." I slept for a few hours. I'm going to walk down the street and go get some coffee to kind of let the sun roll in and get some energy. That 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Voy, look who's here. Shali Jude, Shali! Like the whole walk down. And I get to Starbucks. Salam khanum, bara shoma chi begiram? The entire, and albeit my face, I did not look the way that I do right now because I, under makeup. But it was pretty, and I saw your sister too.
Which is crazy. My sister, Gila, my wonderful sister.
She comes running up to
my sister doesn't even live here. And my sister lives in Winnipeg, has flown in for the last couple of days. And she texted me this morning and said, "I saw Shali Zomadi." I was thinking, wow, this is worlds colliding.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular. I called my mom too, and I said, "Mom, this place is amazing. Like every sign is in Farsi. Everybody here is Iranian." And it actually brought a lot of joy to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Why is that?
As many of you know, if you follow me on social media, I was born and raised in California, and I've told this story many times. I've never lived in Iran a day in my life, and the last time I went to Iran, I was just 4. I have very little memory, though much of my family still.
I was 5, so I have a much more substantial relationship with Iran. Yeah.
I remember the Pofak. Do you remember the Pofak?
I remember we went to Cabaret. They took me to like some...
In Iran?
In Tehran, yeah.
I remember the Pofak, and because my mom's side of the family is from Rasht, I remember glimpses of being there and seeing my family there. But through music and food and all the beautiful parts of this culture, I have remained so incredibly connected to being and identifying as an Iranian American woman for somebody who's never really lived there in a country that I really haven't seen.
Does it, for someone like you, who now is, you kind of take on this ambassadorial role, as for the diaspora at least, right? Do you start to feel a sense of responsibility? Like something happens in the Iranian community and you have to say something, you have to do something?
Now I do. There are many years, I've been a journalist for almost 26 years, and part of being a journalist is not taking sides and being right down the middle. I mean, journalism has changed depending on what channel you watch nowadays, right? But for me, it's remaining neutral. And when the situation with Mahsa came about, everything changed. I think for a lot of people it did. People who weren't really outspoken. Because we've all seen, I mean, I've dreamed to go back to Iran for so many years, and I can't go. But just to see what unfolded there, we just couldn't stay quiet anymore. And that was it. And then after that, I just used my platform in any which way that I can to talk about Iran, to talk about what's happening, as well as balance, because every single day I see so much pain in this world, whether it's with Iran, whether it's with people, whether it's a mother that loses her child. I mean, the list goes on. And Iran is one of it. I mean, it's hard.
It's a weird one as a journalist, because you want to be objective, as objective as you can, at least respect the postulate of objectivity, and to see all sides and this type of thing. But for Iranians, it's not really possible to do that when it comes to the regime in Iran. So how do you navigate objectivity when you're dealing with the Jomhuri Islami, right?
I don't anymore. They gotta go. They gotta go. And it takes a moment, really, that all of us, even the ones that never wanted to get involved, couldn't get involved, were scared to get involved, our voices have gotten so loud now. I promise you that time is coming. Very, very soon that time is coming, and it's because everybody's voices are getting louder and louder.
I don't know, I mean, not to put you on the spot, I don't know if that the foreign minister was having these meetings and a bunch of high-profile Iranian American types attended them. This is in the last couple of days. People who've clearly made the decision that they want to be in the room with members of the regime.
Them.
Yeah, them. How do you react to that?
It's unfortunate, Jian. I mean, just seeing what's unfolding and how this has gone on for so long. I think there's a lot that happens unbeknownst to us, behind closed doors and behind curtains. But at the end of the day, each one of us have power to be able to say something and to do something. And collectively, the more that we get together, the more our voices become louder. All of those meetings are going to change very soon.
What do you mean by that?
The meetings?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
That means that all of us are going to do Roqe live in Tehran and maybe Rasht.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That would be amazing. People really love you. I know. No. Well, we'll get to those who don't. Let me have this moment. People are very fond of you. I know that. I mean, every time you've been on Roqe, there's just people who are really appreciate you, and they have a parasocial relationship with you. Parasocial meaning they've never met you necessarily, but when they do meet you, they probably think that you're their close,
their best friends. Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I actually love it. I just did Mehergan in Orange County just last week, and I don't know if you saw it up on my social media, and I just jumped from baghal to baghal, hug to hug, kiss to kiss, pulled like in all different directions and touched in kind of uncomfortable places at sometimes during these photos. But every single one of those hugs feels so good. It just feels so good. And in a world that there's just so much pain, and I'm seeing it on everybody's faces. Every single one of us is dealing something. Yeah. I'm dealing with stuff in my own life. I choose to still move through this life with joy and happiness. Do I cry? Oh, you should see the nights that I do. Does it hurt inside? Do I get anxiety? Do I get all of these things? Absolutely. But I use these people.
What does it mean to move through life with joy and happiness?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What does it mean to move through life with joy and happiness?
It's a choice.
How do you, tell me about that.
It's a choice. The song goes on and I say, choose to put your hands up and dance through this life. I can also choose to take every step with sadness, with anxiety, and drop my head and become powerless. And I do strongly believe that joy is a choice. You have to choose it every single moment of every single day. There's a beautiful quote. Yes, right? You choose joy. And you see that when you ask me about the people so the people that love and they get really excited is because they choose to see life with that beauty.
Yeah.
They see somebody, wow, that's a mom of 4 kids. She gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning and she's dancing all the time to Sharo Shapare. Because that person is looking through life in those glasses. It's their choice to have those glasses. And then you have the people with the glasses, she wants attention, So a lot of this stuff is a choice that we make every morning when we open our eyes. How do I want to live today?
Let's talk about you take some shit sometimes, you take some criticism. I know it's okay to talk about this because we talked about talking about this. And I think it's good to talk about it, it's not always rosy time for Shali Zomadi. You put yourself out there. This is true for, the people we've had on this show, Dr. Mahshad or Rubina, they're building big Namito social media followings, and that what comes with that territory is sometimes nastiness. And
a lot of times.
My dear mom is here, And my mom is such a fan of yours. And my mom, I remember going to dinner at my mom's house, this is like last year, a couple of years ago, and she was like, "Chilo in Shali inqadr aziyat mikona." And so tell us, talk to us.
I know what your mom's talking about. There was a video that went viral like 3 years ago with my ugly crying face. I was crying in a wedding dress. I was shooting a music video. And I came to like kind of bring people behind the scenes and show them like, look at what we're doing, because I'm built to create joy for people. I feel like that's part of what I do, is like I like to sprinkle magic and make people laugh and smile and dance. And I went on live, and all of a sudden the comments that were coming in were just so mean. And put the combination of me being tired and exhausted, the tears just could not stop. And I'm in a wedding dress crying. I called my mom over. And in Farsi, at that point, like my Farsi was not as good as it is now, because I'm getting better at it. But I brought my mom over, and به فارسی داشتم میگم مامان چرا داره با من اینجوری حرف میزنن؟ آخه من چی کار کردم؟ And my mom just tried to just آروم me, and at that time I called them my salty friends. I said, I just pray that one day you find آرامش, and I hope you find peace and love in your life, that you never feel like you need to hurt another human being. And that was the day I let it go. That was the day I let it go. So nobody gets my tears anymore. And once you just kind of understand that hurt people will hurt people, and I've accepted that with social media. We have a lot of people who are hurting. A lot of people are hurting. من چه انتظاری داشته باشم از یک کسی که زندگیش پر از درده که عشق بده. So when you take that expectation away from people, you find peace in yourself. At least I do.
It's such a polarized existence these days. Like I don't say this with any joy, forgive me, but I'm not optimistic sometimes about humanity based on social media. It's all of the stuff that's going down in the world right now, and you sort of think, and I mean, do you, when somebody's nasty, do you block them? Do you respond? Do you?
No.
What do you?
No, I invite them in. I say, you want to dance with me? And that they don't like that sometimes. But sometimes I say, let it be. And then I say, let's talk about it. I have 4 kids. My youngest is 6. My oldest is turning 14 on Tuesday. And I know ultimately I have to release these 4 into this world. So the more we can talk about the pain, the more we can talk about mental health, the more we can talk about finding a peaceful life. My kids, your kids, all of our kids, which we have a responsibility to all of these children to leave this world in a better place. Then we can work at creating a better space for them. So let's talk about the bullying. Let's talk about why people are upset rather than just constantly shutting them out.
Nicely done. You have entered a new phase of parenting. Teenagers. What is your advice, or how are you doing
I'm
with
not
that?
there yet. I don't know. You got to tell me what I'm supposed to do to raise 4 kids and teenagers. I mean, all I learn, I can tell you, I go to a psychologist often. I recommend it for everybody, just like we go to the dandun pezeshk and go clean your teeth, and we go color our hair to get rid of the grays. I'm a huge advocate that everybody should have a psychologist in their life.
Or a therapist?
Or a therapist, anyone.
How often do you go?
Before every week or every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I do it for my own sanity, to be a better mom, to be a better wife, to be a better Shali to myself. And all that psychologist, that therapist would constantly help give me the tools is get your kids to talk. Get them to talk, express. And especially in this community, we have been taught to remain quiet. Women to remain quiet. We don't have a voice. And that's what is the cause of a lot of the issues that we have. So my kids get to express themselves a lot. And sometimes we do it through dance.
Do you feel like your mission, in terms of all the things that you do, I mean, you're very active. Yeah. I'm sure you're tired of people pointing out that how do you do it all and those kind of questions. But
because I don't know how I do it.
But has your mission stayed the same, or I mean, where are you at now in terms of the reason you're doing all of the things that maybe 10 years ago it was to achieve a certain level of of success or broadcasting success, or you've kind of got a lot of those things now. What's it about now for you?
Right now it's just to bring joy to as many people. I gotta tell you, Jian, last week at Mehergan, dancing with the 80-year-olds when they would stand up with their cane to Sharon Shapare brought me so much joy. Down to the 3-year-old who has probably never been to Iran, but that's the shunjuri mizash bala, and she was, dancing. Those moments of pure joy are just so beautiful and so contagious. I also have a responsibility, I feel like, to this community. I'm incredibly, incredibly tied to the Iranian community. And for my kids, at one day when my daughter, she has a beautiful one eyebrow. All 4 of my kids actually do. And when they look in the mirror, I want them to be proud to where their family is from. I didn't grow up that way. They made it very hard for me growing up as trying to identify as an Iranian.
Yeah.
My kids don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So if I can play a part in that and continue that, I'm going to report the news and I'm going to tell you the horrible things that the Islamic Republic in Iran is doing, but I'm going to tell you how cool and awesome the Persian people and the culture are at the same time, then I've done my job.
What is I'm so grateful that you've done this. The red eye, the overnight, the coming with the energy that you have. Share with us something that you've mentioned Mehergan a few times, so you kind of took the wind out of the sails of the question of something you've been really happy about recently, because we talked about the criticism, but I want you to tell us about something that has really inspired you, since you inspire others so much. What has inspired you recently?
You're asking tough. I'm used to being in that chair, and you're asking me all these questions. I know I talk about Mehergan, but really, if I can go back a little bit recently, what I have seen, especially I'm leaning into this community, because I see stories of inspiration every single day in the American community, in the international community. But to see what Iranians have done over the past few years, when I go back and I look at some of these videos, we just had an anniversary and I posted a video of Masa, and to see when we get together that we are a force, it is so, so inspirational. And I know that if we continue to keep doing what we're doing, we're going back to Iran.
And sorry, you and I talked about this. When we were kids, we didn't feel like that was possible for our community. No. That's the thing. Somebody, a 20-year-old or somebody who's just come from Iran might not get this, that the significance for me, even this room, is so inspiring for me, because when I was 15, I didn't even want to tell people I was Iranian. I was scared to, and because they would call me a name, or I didn't have backup. There was nobody around, And so this is huge, the steps that, and the kind of people who are on the show, I'm Dr. Mahshad, really, really incredible people doing incredible things in our community.
Yeah, we have an incredible community. I'm so proud of the Iranian community in Canada, in the US, really any country you go to, by far, arguably, the most successful immigrant community, wherever they have gone and they have had to rebuild their lives, they have done an amazing job.
Thank you for this. Shali Zomadi. This is Roqe, episode 391, live from the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. We've come to a moment I've been looking forward to for months now. I do believe that this celebration, this tribute is long overdue. First of all, let me say tonight's presenting sponsor of the Icon Award is Quasar Homes, a name synonymous with quality, detail, and innovation in Toronto's custom home building and major renovations, founded and led by Amir Firouz. Quasar Homes, we love you, Amir. Quasar Homes has become a trusted choice for families who want exceptional craftsmanship and seamless building experience with a passion for creating homes that combine elegance, comfort, and functionality. Amir and his team continue to raise the standard of living for homeowners across the city. Please join us in thanking Quasar Homes and Amir for their proud support of the Roqe Media Icon Awards. And we're getting set here for the moment, the presentation of the 4th ever Roqe Media Icon Award. We've done Roqe Live 5 times. We've handed out this award 4 times, and it grows each time. And like I say, this one means a lot. Please give your attention to the big screen.
روی صحنه می ارکستر داریم می‌بینیم درست؟ بله بابا که همونی که همون میشناسن دیگه بچه‌ها میشناسن بابک که گیتاریست بسیار خوبیه موزیسین بسیار خوبیه و امشب اولین شبی که ما با هم دیگه روی صحنه
The latest recipient of the Roqe Media Icon Award is a virtuoso of strings, a composer, a collaborator, an Iranian-Canadian craftsman whose guitar has told the story of Iran and beyond. A musician whose artistry transcends borders and whose sound has become a bridge between cultures. For decades, he has been a central figure in Persian music, shaping its evolution, defining its sound, and performing alongside the very legends who have given Iranians their soundtrack in exile. His name is synonymous with mastery. His presence is synonymous with integrity. He is Babak Amini.
عاشقم من عاشقی بیقرارم کس ندارد خبر از دل زارم.
Born in Tehran, Babak was immersed in music from a young age. By the time he was a teenager, the guitar was no longer just an instrument, it was his voice. His passion and dedication led him to study with masters, and by the 1990s, he had already begun to establish himself as one of Iran's leading guitarists and composers. But exile would shape his path. In Canada, Babak not only rebuilt his career, he flourished. He became the trusted guitarist, arranger, and musical director for icons of Persian music, from Gugush to Shahin Najafi, from Farmaz Aslani to Ebi. His work behind the scenes, arranging and composing, has defined an era of Persian pop and kept its flame alive across the globe. And beyond supporting others, Babak has carved his own legacy. His solo compositions and performances are a testament to his creativity and depth, fusing Persian melodies with global influences, always rooted in excellence. More than just a musician, Babak Amini has been a mentor to younger generations, a teacher who has passed on not just technique, but a love of craft and culture. And beyond the classroom, he has been a tireless supporter of other artists, lifting up voices from the global Iranian community, collaborating generously, and ensuring that our music and culture continue to thrive on the world stage. And if you want to know the measure of a man, look at what his peers say. Some of the greatest names in Persian music wanted to share their love and admiration on this occasion.
Querido Babak, este Icon Award reconoce mucho más que tu arte. Celebra tu integridad, tu valentía y tu amor por los detalles. También tu apertura a la belleza y tu manera única de convertir la experiencia y el sentimiento en música irrepetible.
فکر میکنم واقعا با 3 مفهوم میشه بابک رو بهتر در کار تعریف کرد. زمانمندی بابک، نظمش و مسئولیت پذیریش.
My dearest Babak Amini, always proud of you, always proud of your music, of what you have done for the Spanish guitar, as who are you as a person, as a human being.
برای بابک عزیزم موفقیت بسیار روزافزون از خداوند بزرگ میخوام. همچنین برای این مجموعه‌ای که این کار رو انجام دادن و امیدوارم که این کار ادامه داشته باشه. روک مدیا آیکون آوارد به حسن سلیقتون تبریک میگم.
So proud of you, my friend Babak. You worked so hard for this Roqe Media Icon Award, and you truly deserve every bit of this recognition. Congratulations to you from my bottom of my heart, and I love you.
این جواهر رو که بابک امینی است و جوان بسیار با استعداد و با ذوقی و آهنگ‌های جدید منو ساخته و تنظیم کرده به شما معرفی میکنم.
بابک عزیز، یادم هست روزی که با هم راهی سفر شدیم و فصلی تازه آغاز شد. آن شب که برای اولین بار در تورنتو با هم به روی صحنه رفتیم. شبی که تبدیل به خاطره‌ای ماندگار شد و هنوز در دلها زنده است. امشب باز در همین شهر تو جایزه ارزشمند روک مدیا آیکون آوارد رو دریافت میکنی. این افتخار نشانه مسیری است که با عشق و خلاقیت پیمودی و نتیجه هنری است که همیشه برای علاقمندانت الهام بخش بوده. از صمیم قلب به تو تبریک میگم و بهترین ها رو برای تو آرزو میکنم.
بابک عزیزم، دریافت جایزه میدیا آیکون رو خیلی به تبریک میگم. واقعا باعث افتخاره برای کسی که در سطح جهانی امروز همه میشناسنش و به غیر از این دوستی نزدیکی که با هم داریم و سپاسگزارم از محبتت در تمام این سالها. امیدوارم یه روزی یک کنسرتی رو در ایران بتونی برگزار بکنی که همه شاهدش باشیم و آزادی ایران رو با همدیگه جشن بگیریم.
Babak Amini, he is not just a guitarist, he is a symbol of artistry, a keeper of tradition, a pioneer who has helped Iranian music reach audiences worldwide. And tonight, we honor him. It is a privilege to welcome as our latest recipient of the Roqe Media Icon Award, Ustad Babak Amini.
Can I ask, can I invite the mayor, Mayor David West of Richmond Hill, and Dr. Moridi and Amir Firuz to join us on stage? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Do you want to say anything? I just want to thank you. Dr. Moridi, do you want to say a couple words first? And then we'll afterwards wrap up.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege for me to be here this evening to help present this award, this prestigious award, to one of the greatest musicians of Iran. Babak Amini is a shining example of what Iranian music and Iranian musicians can present to the humanity, in particular to our Canadian society. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you, Jian, for making this recognition of our great musician, Babak Amini. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Well, not just in a few seconds, it's an honor obviously to be here. Babak Jun,
You're amazing. You deserve the best. Jian, your show is getting only better and better. Mayor, thanks for coming. Dr. Moody, thanks for being here. Just a quick one. This show tonight got a little bit too more political than I expected. So I think I should say something about my company name, because I've come across many people saying, hey, you're Hezbollahi because your company name is Kosar. No, it's not Kosar. It's got nothing to do with Kosar, please. Just so everyone knows, it's Quasar. It's got nothing to do with Kosar. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. And Babak, it's a real honor to be sharing the stage with you. And, you know, we have such an unbelievably dynamic Persian community in Richmond Hill. I mean, many of which are here tonight, actually. And I just want to thank you very much for leaving your mark on the music of this community and of the world and all of the great things that you do. Art is the universal way of expressing what a lot of us always are feeling, and you do that in spades. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. All right, let's do this. The recipient of the Roqe Live Icon Award for Roqe Live 5, please welcome to the stage now, dearest Ostad Babak Amini.
To raise this. I'm a little bit oversized, sorry. So I have to give you these. Sure. Such an honor. Thank you so much. I think I'm receiving all these because of you, because of the love and energy that you're giving to me after all these years. You all supported me. And I don't know how to say thank you so much for listening to my music. I'm gonna play guitar. I'm gonna make music for you all till I die. And thank you, Jian. You're the best. You know, I love you like my brother. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Dr. Moridi. Thank you so much. Merci, Dr. Merci, of course. Thank you, brother.
So I'm a politician, and this is a microphone, so what am I supposed to do, right? I just want to say one more thing. Jian, thank you so much. This is, you know, I'm really proud of this facility here, the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. We do have to come up with an easier name to say. But I will say, this is exactly what this facility is designed for. It's to bring people together to celebrate the arts. And you know, the Persian community in Richmond Hill is incredibly important. I've really come to know how rich and diverse and the gifts that have been brought to Richmond Hill and the greater Toronto area by people from many, many parts of the world, actually, but particularly from Iran. The food, the culture, the music, it actually is incredibly enriching for our community, and I just am so thankful for this forum, Jian, and I've been a big fan of yours for a very, very long time. It's always an honor to be on the stage with you, but particularly here in my hometown, in our hometown of Richmond Hill, and I just didn't want this moment to pass without giving you a little presentation and a token of my thanks to you for bringing this here. Anytime you want to come here, that's fine. If the place is not available, you can have it in my backyard or something. I don't know, but thank you very much for being here in Richmond Hill.
Oh, well.
I think I need to open this.
We're going to have a little bit of a
too
chat,
formal.
and then we're going to have a surprise performance, maybe, right? Tell me how you're feeling. How you
I feel good.
Feel the love. Did you feel the love?
Yes, always. Thank you, Jian. Thanks, everybody, for coming and sharing this beautiful moment with me.
You know, I've been telling people. There's so many people here in this room whose lives you've touched. So many some musicians, Siam Akhshirazi, Navon, all these people here who owe so much to you and who really wanted to be here. I've been saying this for the last couple of months to people that, you know, sometimes when somebody is in your hometown and you have the pleasure of getting to see them, you don't realize what you have, and you so often have been the person who is the supporter of the sort of older icon that's singing, and you're leading the band or you're performing there on stage, and we see you, but they're the ones who get a lot of the applause. And do you tell me about that role?
First of all, I owe them too, because I think that all the musicians, we need to support the young musicians as well, because now it's really hard for the young musicians. I know how hard they try, how hard they work, but of course everybody knows Gugush, Ebi, all the great singers that we have. But right now even though we have social medias, Instagram, everybody can post and share the videos and everything, but it's extremely hard for the young singers, young artists. By the way, Rubina, you're great.
Yes.
You're fantastic, Rubina. And yes, I think that this is our responsibility. I owe them too.
But what do you feel like? I mean, we say these words, what Babak Hamini has done for Persian music. What are you most proud of in terms of what you brought? By the way, you're halfway through, or you're not even. I feel sometimes like giving an award. It means like it's not. You're in your prime right now. It's not the end, of course. But what do you feel like you are most proud of in terms of what you have brought to Persian music?
When I start working, I was very young when I started working as a session player. And everybody asked me to play like Armik, because Armik was session player before the revolution. So all the composers, they wanted that sound because they got used to it. But I wasn't playing with the pick or like that style. And I used to tell them that I'm gonna just play whatever that I know, whatever that I think is good for your music. If you don't like it, don't pay me, and just you can delete it. And when I was moving to Canada, all the composers, they were asking the session players, play something like Babak, And I have to tell them, play your own music, play the style that you like, because you're beautiful too, you can play good too. And creativity comes when you don't copy somebody, like the way that Rubina did. It was beautiful, so touching. So that's art. You can get inspired from different artists as I got inspired from Pacadelucia, Altimiola, which we have the same guitar, signature guitar line together with Felipe Conde. But I was trying to be myself all the time, and that's what I'm proud of. Even any time that I was producing songs, I was thinking, okay, how I can be different, how I can educate the listeners, because the commercial things is there always. But being different and being the way that everybody can listen to it and educate themselves is hard. The way that Kaveh, my brother, is here, I love you, Kaveh. And you know, the way that he plays guitar, the way that he makes his music is so unique. Of course, it's rock, but nobody can be Kaveh Yaghmaei.
Well, that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Because when we set this date, originally you said you might get too emotional, you don't want to play. Remember?
Yeah, still I don't.
And my dream or my hope was that if we invite Kaveh, that you and Kaveh Yaghmaei might do something together on stage. And you're going to? And, right?
Of course. You know,
And-
we have...
And
Thank you.
tell us a little bit about the history of you two, and then...
Okay,
and
before I go there, I want to mention a couple of things. I might forget that. I was thinking that only music can make me cry. Because when I hear the good music, the energy is too much, it can melt me. But I was watching Navid's dance. Navid, with the dance. I was crying with the beauty. It was like an art movie. So beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you, Navid Jan.
Yes. Navid.
Proud of you. And another thing, I'm wearing SZ dress, and it's handmade from Italy, from my very good, talented friend, Shahin Zartosht. I just want to mention that. because of him, a little bit I look good tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you and
about
Kaveh.
Kaveh.
Yes.
Okay, kind of musically, we grew up together, you know. He was in conservatory, so he was in دبیرستان موسیقی، هنرستان موسیقی, so he had all those support and like a family, and I was the kid from nowhere with no having musical family or any uncle that plays guitar or whatever. But he was hot shot. Kaveh was like super talented, but he was just playing with me. And I was so happy, and because I'm self-taught. And when I was a kid, I just had a 6-month guitar class. And after that, I trained myself. So basically, I played all the books that it was available in Iran. And so without internet, without anything, so I really pushed. But all those years that me and Kaveh practiced together, that shaped us. I think that shaped me. And because of the musicianship that Kaveh had, still has. Nobody's like Kaveh. And so basically, those years that we were sitting in my room, and we used to practice hours and hours, that we couldn't move our fingers. I think those hours and those days, and the concerts after that, we did the first guitar recital after the revolution. I think those years shaped us, and I owe him as well.
I'm very excited to see you guys on stage here. It's barely ever happened, right? I mean, in recent years.
Yes.
That you...
we're going to perform 2 of my songs, and one of them, the first one, has kind of Persian melodies inside. This is the first time I'm going to just perform that on stage. The name of that song is Echoes of Babak. It's just my story, kind of, that I put it to melody and harmony. And I'm so honored that I'm going to perform the first time with Ehsan Omidi, the fantastic musician that we have in, yes, Ehsan Omidi, in Toronto with us, and Maestro Kaveh Yaghmaei.
Take it away.
Yes.
Take it away. We'll get you set up. Babak Amini and Kaveh Yaghmaei. Let's go, guys. Let's set this up. Come on out.
Usually I need to warm up before
I know,
the
man.
concert.
I know. You're
Okay.
good. Somehow I believe you're going to make it.
I try my best.
Somehow I believe you can do this. I wanted to, while we get set up here. No, please, guys, get.
I think that we need chairs.
You need your chairs. Yeah, it's coming. I wanted to just say this show doesn't happen without. We have an incredible team of volunteers, and I really want a big round of applause for all the volunteers who have worked so hard on this show. Young folks who've just come and helped us out. I want to thank Sohail and Amir for videography. I want to thank Sheragim on lighting, Shaya helping us out on sound. We love you, Shaya, a longtime Roqe team member. We're going to get to Namito after this. Things have gone a little later. All right, as promised, Namito. Now, our dear Maziar Fala, he sang earlier. Namito was charged with creating a new track. Namito, you want to come out? Namito, it's been working hard. Khob, how did it go?
It was a bit difficult because there was so much noise and my ears are like filled. But I tried my best, and the recording was not that great, so I made the best out of it.
Okay. Do we want to hear this? Do we want to hear this?
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Namito! Featuring Maziar Falla, brand new record coming out Tomorrow on Spotify. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that was incredible. I think that's actually awesome. Are you okay with that? Can they release that? Shema okay? It's so good. I mean, what you know?
You know, honestly though, what he did in that short period of time, it's almost impossible for any producer or any DJ. So everybody make some noise for Namito.
It's incredible. I have to thank that was amazing, brother. I hope we get a chance to hear
Release it tomorrow.
Please upload that. Do something with that. Thank you, DJ Al, man.
Thank you for having
the
me.
whole show. Milad Beauty is over here. Milad John, thank you so much for all your work. This is the Roqe team, and you know, where's Shaya and Parisa? Come on out. This is the team that works so tirelessly. Give them their. This is Keon, Sharagim on lights, Roham, our videographer, Anahita, a longtime graphic artist, and all kinds of things she does for us. Ghazaleh, who is back there working all the video today. Kimia, who is working with the sponsors. Our dear Tina, who's in charge of photography. Pegah, of course, you know, who was on earlier and directing. Paris Sajun, our producer on Roqe, and a guy who's been tireless directing this show. Give it up for Kaveh.
Yeah!
Thank you to all of you. Join us for a reception outside. Eat beautiful Furuz Catering. Thank you to the sponsors. Much love, Mizun Bashin.